Hey, it's I, Leo Mystic, and I'm here to share with you about your throat chakra, about opening the sound of your soul and sharing the notes of your higher self, being able to speak your truth into the world and develop greater speech and practices that helps you to express who you are. Today is a day of being more soulfully singing who you are in your heart. And so I would like to talk about drinking healthy water to begin with. Having good quality water to help hydrate your body so that your vocal cords can fluctuate and move and create sound is one of the key components to helping your voice be clear and harmony and full of healthy expressions and sounds. So one of the things that I like to do is drink distilled water. Having a mega home distiller will help you clean out all the impurities and help you drink high quality, fresh, clean water. And the next step to elevating your voice is to speak honestly. When we lie and we say things that aren't true to others, that can actually close our throat chakra down and help us to be constricted. Because when we lie and we don't tell things and we're dishonest, then what happens is we need to protect ourselves. We need to make sure that we're holding things in because we can't let out the secrets that we've told that were lies to others. So we're trying to make up things, remember things. And so we're holding on to stuff and we're not telling the truth. And so that can actually keep you constricted and tight and closed off, and you're trying to hide things. So being honest and respectful towards others and sharing how you feel in any experience in the moment will definitely help you expand your throat chakra, because when you can be around others and just be free and you can let go and say what's on your mind, that's going to make you feel more relaxed. It's going to make you feel more empowered to be in your own self and your own right. And it's when we feel uncomfortable about others, when we feel uncomfortable about ourselves, we'll feel uncomfortable about others. And so being more like confident. Confidence will help you to speak out. When you can go to a crowd of people, of beautiful people, and just start talking to them, that will help your throat chakra as well, because it takes courage and strength to walk up to a group of people and to just start to share your ideas with them out loud. In the spur of the moment, sometimes not even knowing what you're going to say, you just start talking and let it out and it comes flowing out naturally. Don't be afraid to do that. Just go out there and put yourself into those positions, because the more you do it, you may be uncomfortable at first. It may not go as you had hoped it would, but after a lot of practice and consistency of maybe going to places where there's lots of people and doing it over and over again, you're going to build the momentum. You're going to build that strength and that courage, and it's definitely going to become easier. You're going to get more fluid. Things are going to start to happen more naturally for you, in which you can just hold a conversation and things will definitely work out in your highest good. Also, another thing I'd love to share with you is to answer the call of consciousness. And what I mean is hearing the Jiminy Cricket or God on your shoulder telling you certain things to help others. Oftentimes, I've had the intuition and I've heard certain thoughts come to mind. For example, walking down the street, seeing a homeless person, and that voice comes in and says, "Hey, stop, talk to them." Or share this idea about healthy living with that person. And sometimes I've ignored that thought. And later on down the day, I was like, man, I should have went and talked to that person. So when you hear that call from God or the universe, and it tells you to help that person, that you have that great idea or that knowledge that can really benefit somebody in their position at the moment, then just do it, share it, be outspoken, be an outgoing personality, an extroverted nature that can share your soul and your experiences and your wisdom with others so that the world becomes a better place. Because the more you can share something positive about what you know with others, then the world will also reflect back more positivity to you, because whatever you're putting out, you'll receive back. If you put out negativity and hate, you'll get negativity and hate back in your life, because it's a mirroring reflection of who you are. And so you'll attract those experiences. When you can help others and you share good ideas, the world becomes a reflection of that, of what you are putting out into the universe. So it's good to have an open throat chakra. And one of the things that you can do to help benefit the expansion of your throat chakra is to think of blue and like indigo colors that are glowing in your throat when you speak. Oftentimes I've thought of water. Like I would sometimes think of a drop of water that hits my throat and then it ripples out like a pebble in a pond, and I just imagine that visualization. And then all of a sudden, sometimes I think of like a Merkaba, and it's spinning, and it's blue, and then I see it turn into a snowflake that's all crystalline. And I think of all these nice blue images that will help me to put that colorful energy into my auric field. And so thinking of those kinds of thoughts can definitely help benefit you expanding your voice. And another thing that I would love to share with you is how to sing, because when we can share our soul at different tones and frequencies, we can literally resonate our body and help our whole entire physical being be uplifted into a higher realm of truth, honesty, health, and wellness, getting more into balance and alignment with our energetic field. And to do so is to use your vowels. I used to walk around when I was early 20s, and I would walk around the city and I would scream out loud. One of the things I used to do when I was a kid, when I was in my early 20s, was I would walk down the sidewalks of streets and I would just yell out loud as much as I could. And I would just scream, 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 yell, 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 and I would hear my voice expand. And then I heard some things on a video this one time that says use your vowels more. So that's what I had done. And it definitely helped me to accelerate the expansion of my vocal range. So one of the things you can do is you do your vowels like this. For example, ah. And you want to hold your note and sing it out loud until it wobbles. And then it kind of like sounds like it's breaking apart, like your voice is cracking. And then if you hold it long enough, it'll smooth out. So if you'll bear with me, just listen to how this sounds. You can hear how it smoothed out after I held it out for a long period of time. Now, sometimes I would have to do this for 20 minutes in my car, driving around in my vehicle, and literally hold that note. And then I would stop, take a breath, drink some water, and then it would kind of start breaking again, but it would be easier the next time. And so do all your vowels like that, like this. So you can see how that was a simple practice for me to kind of like start working the voice, rounding it out, warming it up. so that I can start to sing a little bit better. But like I said, sometimes you want to hold these notes for long periods of time. So now there's another aspect to this singing, is that you want to sing up in your nose, your nasal region, and also your throat voice. And you have your chest, your nasal, and then like your mid-range, your throat. And what I'll do is to work all the vowels too at the same time, is I'll hum in my throat, and I'll just do it like this. And that is a good way to kind of like round out all the vowels at once, because when you speak it out loud, you can only really focus on the one tone. And so when you hum, you can kind of condense your whole vocal range and kind of round it out. And so back to the nasal thing, is sometimes you want to be up in your nose like this. And then your chest down here. Om. And so you can see, and then so also what I'd like to do is go from high to low. And this is going to take, once you start doing high to low, you'll work a certain range out, and then you'll realize that you have to work in the back of your throat, forwards in your throat, and kind of like work all these different areas where you can make different tones from high to low in different areas of your throat. And you can go to the side, you can go over here, you can go up in the range over here. You can round out your whole throat in different areas. And so some things I like to do is like this. And just kind of and go from high to low. And here's an example of me going high to low. And if I find an area that it needs work, I'll work that little area. So it becomes easier. So now you can hear it this way. You can hear how it's a little smoother. And just kind of work it, round it, go up and down. And obviously you want to be drinking water when you do this, so that it sounds more clear, and it's going to help your throat be able to expand easier, because when it's hydrated, it's easier to move. When it's dry, it gets constricted and tight. And so be sure to hydrate for sure before you do this. You drink like a half hour to an hour before you're going to start to sing heavily, because sometimes I would sing loud and hard and I would belt it out, and it took me like 2 years to get pretty good, and then 3 years to really start to hear my voice expand incredibly well. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit of my practice, and you can hear how I sound. Oh, hey, oh. 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 So you can see how I like to play with my voice and go up and down and all around and hum and change it up. And what I'll do is I'll keep doing that until I find an area that starts to wobble or break, and I'll be like, and so you can hear how that had that loud like motorboat sound, like, and if you hold it long enough, that motorboat sound will start to smooth out and it'll start to resonate at a smooth rate. And so just keep doing that with your voice. You know, if it cracks or it breaks and it makes that noise, that's the sound you gotta make, because that's the key to helping your throat expand. And by expanding your throat, I've often noticed as a singer that after, you know, a few days or weeks and my throat starts to like kind of close up a little bit because I haven't used it as much singing, that sometimes it gets hard. It's gotten a little hard for me to speak, right? Like certain words would be harder to speak out of my mouth. And whenever I release that and I start to sing again and I open up my throat, all of a sudden I can speak a lot better. Things start to roll out of me like a river of consciousness, and I'm fluid with my thinking and thoughts, and I'm an eloquent speaker and linguistic and public speaker. So be sure to sing often, yell in your car, be loud, let it out, let it out. I know that when I was a kid, I heard before, don't yell, you'll hurt your voice. You'll damage your vocal cords if you yell too loud. I think that it's important that you yell loud. Start small. Start out smooth, let it be quiet at first, warm up to it, hum, don't be too loud, drink water and let it like round out for a bit. And then once you've been doing it for 10, 15 minutes or something, really start to ramp it up, use your motorboat sound, crank into your voice, focus on putting energy into your throat, because that is definitely going to help you expand it, especially if you're a meek person, especially if you've been a kind of a silent, quiet type because your family told you that you needed to be quiet. Shh, don't say things loud, don't talk out loud, be polite, don't say, don't stir the pot, don't interrupt. All these things that your parents may have told you, or whoever brought you up, or your teachers growing up. Some of these subconscious programs could still be with you that are causing you from being able to be outspoken and loud about who you are. So start to say things to yourself that you are an outspoken social superstar, that you're able to go into conversations with the great consciousness of your mind, that you have great thoughts and ideas, that you have intelligence to share and people like you, that you're attractive, that you are producing quality resonant sounds that are helping others in the world. Say things that you are confident, bold, courageous, and that you can share words and thoughts and phrases that are uplifting souls and are positively enhancing the world. That you are able to sing, speak, share, be a kind-hearted soul that is grateful for life, that you can attract new experiences out in the world, that you attend more events where you can talk to people, where you can just interject and bring something to the conversation, bring something to the world that is sharing your wisdom and experiences of life. So be sure to record videos as well, because that is one of the keys that is going to help you, expand your voice, is by being able to pick up a camera, talk to it, put it online, and hear how you sound, and if oftentimes I've recorded myself and I've heard how I've sounded, and I, played it back, and I was like, you know what? I don't like how I said that, actually, the way my tone of voice was. Maybe I can work on it this way and make it more powerful sounding. I once recorded affirmations, right? That's something else you can do, is record affirmations that you'd like to have happen in your life, or that you like to say to yourself often, and hear how it sounds back to you. How are you sounding to yourself? What do you sound like to the universe? Because our head voice sounds different than what we actually recordedly sound like. So record yourself, play it back, and hear how you sound, and then maybe record it again in a different tone of voice and see how that sounds, if you like that better, because that's going to help you be able to understand the vocal levels or the tone or the inflection and how you speak. There's so many different ways you can speak. There's redneck voices, there's British voices, Australian, Russian, there's, Spanish. There's all kinds of ways of using the tones in your tongue. And so one thing that I realized when I started to speak and open up my vocal range is that I became more empowered with a new tone of voice, a character, an accent on my words, as you can hear right now. And this is how I speak sometimes as well. I speak in some sort of language or some sort of accent that I just created for myself. It just came out and I started working with it, and this is how it sounds right now. Something where you can be the super amazing, high quality mind that is sharing who you are. And, play with your voice. You have the great late Robin Williams, who had many different accents and voices in which he played with, that lit up the world, that made people laugh. And so be an improvisational human being that can come up with witty, clever statements that are helping people enjoy life, laugh, be humorous, be somebody that is exciting, enthusiastic, has a great quality character and personality to yourself. Because life in the monotone voice that is quiet, meek, and sheltered in your alone state is not a life that could be much more flourished with the feelings of expansion, blossoming your brain, bringing out the greatness of your day, your heart that beats, the love that you can speak. Be a passionate, driven force of purpose in life. Letting go of the negative friends, the lies, the people that have not been supporting your vision for life. Get rid of those statements, those affirmations, those beliefs that you have been telling yourself, that you are not good enough, that you can't speak, that it's hard for you to talk about what you think, that it's difficult for you to make change in the world, that you're just not able to, communicate right, or you're not social, or you're an introverted nature, I always have been, or that you are just, shy, sheltered, reserved, you're very conservative, or whatever the statements are that you're telling yourself. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to speak. Get rid of those, lonely little thoughts that are keeping you lame. Start to use your brain. Say things that are going to help affirm who you are. That you are a creative, empowered soul that is changing your reality, manifesting through magic and spells. The words you use, the powerful statements that you are speaking into the universe. So be sure to awaken and enliven your mind with the invigoration of inspiration and lyrical wizardry. Do rhythmic, fluid statements of who you are, your being. that you are a bold, courageous, confident expression of social connection, and you are able to move through the world attracting experiences and new friendships and network connections that are helping advance your spirit, your business, your personal life, and it's becoming better than ever before, that you are becoming more in tune, balanced, and grounded in who you do, what you share, your truth, because you are an affirmational action taker and you are affirming that things are working out in your favor. Speak, share, grow. Let everybody know who you are. The time is now. Let's elevate the town. Use your auric crown. Thank you for listening to my video. Please subscribe to this channel, like the video, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. I pray that you'll stay tuned for more in the future. Have a lovely week.